Hi, everyone. I'm Keely, and I have chosen Robert Frost's Home Burial for my topic today. I'll start by explaining a little bit about Robert Frost and his life, and then I will read the poem. Afterwards, we will discuss themes, imagery, and symbolism. And then lastly, I will make a statement as to why I think this poem should remain part of the curriculum. So let's start with Robert Frost. He was born in San Francisco in 1874. After his father died, the family moved to New England. Frost seems to be a very traditional writer. He writes about farmland, country folks, different seasons, but down deep, his poems explore some dark and difficult times in life, such as grief, conflict, isolation. Frost was a farmer and a teacher before any of his work was recognized. When he moved to England in 1912, his poetry was published for the first time. He became one of the most popular American poets of his time and won 4 Pulitzer Prizes. Frost died in 1963, but because his poems feel so emotionally real, they've remained popular today. Home Burial is an excellent example of that, and now I will read Home Burial. Home Burial by Robert Frost. He saw her from the bottom of the stairs before she saw him. She was staring down, looking back over her shoulder at some fear. She took a doubtful step and then undid it, to raise herself to look again. He spoke, advancing toward her. "What is it you see from up there always? For I want to know." She turned and sank upon her skirts at that, and her face changed from terrified to dull. He said to gain time, "What is it you see?" Mounting until she cowered under him. "I will find out now. You must tell me, dear." She, in her place, refused him any help. With the least stiffening of her neck and silence, she let him look, sure that he wouldn't see, blind creature. And a while he didn't see, but at last murmured, "Oh." And again, "Oh." "What is it? What?" she said. "Just that I see." "You don't," she challenged. "Tell me what it is." "The wonder is, I didn't see it once. I never noticed it from here before. I must be wanted to it. That's the reason. The little graveyard where my people are. So small, the window frames, the whole of it. Not so much larger than a bedroom, is it? There are 3 stones of slate and one of marble. Broad-shouldered little slabs there in the sunlight on the side hill. We haven't to mind those, but I understand. It is not the stones, but the child's mound." "Don't," she cried. She withdrew, shrinking from beneath his arm that rested on the banister, and slid downstairs, and turned on him with such a daunting look. He said twice over before he knew himself, "Can't a man speak of his own child he's lost?" "Not you. Oh, where's my hat? Oh, I don't need it. I must get out of here. I must get air. I don't know rightly whether any man can. Amy, don't go to someone else this time. Listen to me. I won't come down the stairs." He sat and fixed his chin between his fists. "There's something I would like to ask you, dear." "You don't know how to ask it." Her fingers moved the latch for all reply. "My words are nearly always an offense. I don't know how to speak of anything so as to please you. But I might be taught, I should suppose. I can't say I see how. A man must partly give up being a man with woman folk. We could have some arrangement by which I'd bind myself to keep hands off. Anything special you're a mind to name. Though I don't like such things twixt those that love. Two that don't love can't live together without them, but two that do can't live together with them. She moved the latch a little. Don't go. Don't carry it to someone else this time. Tell me about it if it's something human. Let me into your grief. I'm not so much unlike other folks as your standing there apart would make me out. Give me my chance. I do think, though, you overdo it a little. What was it brought you up to think it the thing to take your mother loss of a first child so inconsolably in the face of love? You'd think his memory might be satisfied. There you go, sneering now. I'm not. You make me angry. I'll come down to you. God, what a woman. And it's come to this. A man can't speak of his own child that's dead. You can't, because you don't know how to speak. If you had any feelings, you that dug with your own hand, how could you? His little grave. I saw you from that very window there, making the gravel leap and leap in the air, leap up like that, and land so lightly, and roll back down the mound beside the hole. I thought, who is that man? I didn't know you. And I crept down the stairs and up the stairs to look again, and still your spade kept lifting. Then you came in. I heard your rumbling voice out in the kitchen, and I don't know why, but I went near to see with my own eyes. You could sit there with the stains on your shoes of the fresh earth from your own baby's grave, and talk about your everyday concerns. You had stood the spade up against the wall outside there in the entry, for I saw it. I shall laugh the worst laugh I've ever laughed. I'm cursed, God, if I don't believe I'm cursed. I can repeat the very words you were saying. 3 foggy mornings and 1 rainy day will rot the best birch fence a man can build. Think of it. Talk like that at such a time. What had how long it takes a birch to rot to do with what was in the darkened parlor? You couldn't care. The nearest friends can go with anyone to death come so far short. They might as well not try to go at all. No, from the time when one is sick to death, one is alone, and he dies more alone. Friends make pretense of following to the grave, but before one is in it, their minds are turned and making the best of their way back to life and living people and things they understand. But the world's evil. I won't have grief so if I can change it. Oh, I won't. I won't. There. You've said it all and you feel better. You won't go now. You're crying. Close the door. The heart's gone out of it. Why keep it up? Amy, there's someone coming down the road. You. Oh, you think the talk is all. I must go. Somewhere out of this house. How can I make you? If you do, she was opening the door wider. Where do you mean to go? First tell me that. I'll follow and bring you back by force, I will. Now that I've read the poem, let me walk through what's going on and why it matters. Home Burial is a very dark story about a married couple that has lost their child and they're struggling with their grief because of misunderstandings. The both of them are dealing with death differently, so they don't understand each other. Their pain is very isolated, even though they love each other very much. Frost shows the psychological reality of the couple's situation by using imagery. First, we'll talk about the stairs. Amy is halfway up the stairs, standing above where her husband is and looking down on him. This is symbolic of the distance between them, both emotionally and literally. Next, I want to talk about the window overlooking the grave. Amy looks through the window to where her child is buried. This is the emotional heart of the poem. The husband dug the grave himself, and Amy watched through the window as he dug the grave, not understanding how he could do such a task. The grave itself, the child's grave, it symbolizes loss, damage of the marriage, and the grief inside the home. The husband digging the grave, this symbolizes his way to deal with grief, his process of emotion through physical action. Amy feels like her husband must not be sad enough if he can be doing this physical work. Amy on the stairs, not being able to leave the top of the stairs where she can see the child's burial mound, not being able to descend the stairs and go down and have a conversation with her husband. Doors, thresholds, and leaving. Amy wants to run out the door. The door symbolizes the risk of ending the marriage, and they do not communicate their grief. Home burial is written in what's known as blank verse. What this means is the language is like real speech. It still has a poetic flow, and it's structured to provide tension like a beating heart under stress. This is Frost's typical poetic style. It's common speech with a deep, sharp, emotional language. Words he uses like sneer, blind, afraid. He says, don't go, don't carry it to someone else. This shows pain and fear while trying to stay calm. Amy is showing sarcasm and anger. She feels unheard. The husband keeps asking the same questions, showing his frustration and helplessness. There are a few themes that I see here. One is miscommunication. So they're talking about how they don't understand each other. They're speaking a different language. They process their grief differently. The next one is about loss. This changes how death changes a relationship and becomes a barrier. They no longer know how to navigate and speak to one another. This does not seem directly political, but the poem does kind of talk about the expectations where the wife is expected to deal with her grief kind of quietly and rationally. And Amy is expecting her husband to have an openness with his emotion, and men in that time just didn't do that. It wasn't normal at that time. Now, I believe a home burial deserves to remain in the course for several reasons. Because it talks about such a deep emotional topic that would still be relevant today, this would stir conversations between students as to which character we're supporting, who's right in this situation. This teaches students how poetry can function like drama. It reads like a play. The themes are timeless: grief, marriage, communication, anger. These experiences are still relevant today, and students can see themselves or someone that they know. It pairs well with other things that we've read, like Those Winter Sundays, and that was one of my favorites. Um, let's see. All right. So, lastly, Robert Frost Home Burial is powerful, honest, and complex through imagery, symbolism, and voice. Frost shows how grief can destroy a relationship when communications break down. So, for its emotional depth, its timeless relevance, I feel Home Burial should stay on the syllabus for future classes. Thank you for watching.